Hi, this is Lynn, and welcome to another Persuasion Byte, bite-sized tips on persuasion that you can use right away. As a leader, you try to create a safe environment for your people to interact. But the truth is, what goes on inside a hallway or in a home for remote gatherings also affects your people in ways that you can't possibly imagine. Here's one example. Researchers at Carnegie Mellon University did a study on the connection between rudeness and anchor bias. So anchor bias is that when our brain hears an idea, the first idea it hears, and it hangs on to this idea much longer and stronger than it should. The idea becomes an anchor. And here's one example of the research they conducted. Doctors walking down a hallway hear an exchange between two people, rude and insensitive. And then they walk into a room where there's a patient. And the patient's wife turns to the doctor and says, "Doctor, I think my husband's having a heart attack." What ends up happening is that this first idea of a heart attack becomes an anchor. And most of these doctors, despite symptoms to the contrary, are more likely to diagnose this patient as having a heart attack. What this means for us in business is that when our people have encountered a stressful situation, even one that they're not directly involved in, chances are good they will glom on to the first idea they hear and work hard to support that in the face of even better ideas. What the researchers suggest that we do to counteract this is two things. First, they call it perspective taking. In your meeting or conversation, start asking the person, if you're dealing with a problem, what perspective would other people have on this issue? What you're doing is you're getting them out of themselves. Who else? What if we're talking about a client or a vendor or another department? What perspective would they have? The second technique you can use is called information gathering. And in this instance, what you do is you ask your people, what kind of information do we need to have in order to make a good decision here on this problem? Once again, pulls people out of their perspective, and then they're less likely to be unduly affected by anchor bias. All of this stuff obviously applies to you as well. When you've experienced a tension-filled situation, and you're in the next situation where even though it's totally unrelated, you need to make a decision, ask yourself, am I holding on too tightly to the first idea I've come across because that's one way to soothe myself? Or am I open to other ideas? And if you're not, you'll know that it's anchor bias. And then you can do perspective taken and information gathering. Because when you do these things, you are basing your decision on information, not a chance encounter that happened to you before you even started talking with your people about this. Not only do you make better decisions, but you become the most persuasive person in the room. Thanks for watching.